Dear viewers, we have done a lot of videos on the subject of insurance. You have heard about the term insurance, you have heard about whole of life plans, you have heard about critical illness insurance. Insurance is a pretty vast subject and there are a lot of things to learn here. Insurance is not just about buying a crore of insurance. There are various aspects to insurance. We have done a lot of videos on our channel. Today we expose one another aspect of life insurance. It is called the key man insurance. So in this episode, you will get to know everything that you need to know about key man insurance, how it can help, whom it will help, how it has to be bought, and what are the things that you have to keep in mind when you decide to buy a key man insurance. This is NRI Money Clinic for you, and I am Dr. Chandrakant, your financial guide for a happy living.
NRI Money Clinic. No hype, just the right advice.
Dear viewers, key man insurance is a very specialized subject. It's not that it is available with each and every one, and it is for a special purpose. To talk about the key man insurance and everything that you need to know about the key man insurance, I have brought to the recording today one eminent faculty, the celebrity financial planner, Mr. Mathew Kurien. Mr. Mathew Kurien works as a financial planner in UAE. He is associated with Nexus Insurance Brokers. Mr. Mathew Kurien has a vast experience spanning over 2 decades. He is highly successful financial planner, a man who is highly respected, loved, adored by the NRI community spread in UAE and rest of the world. Welcome to the show, Mr. Mathew Kurien.
Thanks, Doctor. That was a very nice introduction. And I'd love to be part of your system where I can contribute to your viewers. And I'm looking forward to helping them understand the concept of key man covers.
Let's get going, Mr. Mathew. The first question to you is, what is a key man insurance? We have heard about life insurance, term insurance, critical illness. Key man insurance is not that familiar topic. Can you briefly tell what's a key man insurance?
Sure. I would fully agree with you. Most people understand life insurance. When you say life insurance, they know life insurance. But I would say out of my 10, 15 years with close to 2 decades of working with the corporate sector, I would say 90% of them are not aware of key man covers. And the objective is protecting themselves and their companies. So the whole objective is a concept of key man is to make sure that anyone who contributes to the turnover of the company is protected, and to make sure that in the event of a contingency, that there's a lump sum for the company.
Okay, that part is understood. What I want one clarification from you is, we understand individual insurances. How key man insurance is different from individual insurance policies?
Very relevant question, Doc. On an individual level, the individual is ensuring that there is adequate life cover to protect himself in the event of a contingency of death or a critical illness, and the proceeds then are passed on. The beneficiaries are the family. In the key man cover, the beneficiaries is the company, and this is for the continuity of the company, and that's the whole objective. On one side, the individual owners of a company or a partnership ensures that he protects himself on an individual level. As a key man cover, he ensures continuity of the company he is actually a partner of, or he's the sole owner of.
If I understood you correctly, if I have to summarize, when a person buys an individual cover, he covers himself, his life, but the beneficiary is his family. Whereas when an organization takes a key man insurance, again, the life of an individual is covered, but this time the beneficiary is the company for which he is working for. Is that a correct assumption?
Absolutely. That's very clear.
I have one more question to you. Now
Sure.
You spoke about key man insurance. The critical question to ask you is, who is a key man insurance? An organization has so many people. Who is a key man in an organization?
See, there's a very clear definition, which is anyone who contributes to the turnover of the company or the profitability of the company. And in the event of this person passing or is critically ill, how would the company be able to manage without his resources? So a key man could be the managing director, he could be the chairman, he could be a salesperson, the top sales producer, he could be one of the directors. Anyone who contributes to the turnover of the company is the key person, and that's how we qualify a key person.
I understood this part. See, my channel particularly caters to NRI community, and NRI community is quite a resourceful community. There are countless business owners, professionals, service professionals who are there in NRIs community, and they are spread all over the globe. And there are lots of them spread in UAE and other countries of the Middle East. Is it very essential that these business owners have to take a key man insurance to protect their business? How it makes special importance for these NRI business owners getting into this key man insurance?
Sure, that's a very relevant question for the UAE. And why it is relevant is purely because most people are not aware of the fact that in the event of the contingency of death, that be it a sole owner or a partnership, their accounts are frozen. And once the accounts are frozen, and if he is one of the signatories, then it becomes impossible for anyone to access this. So how would salaries get paid? How would there be continuity of the company? How would there be liquidity to take care of, if it's a trading company, to make sure that appropriate, funds are actually passed on to potential suppliers? All of these makes it more and more complicated. So most people aren't aware of these details. And more than anything else, banks, for any facility which has been extended to the company, they need to make sure that they have a key man cover. This is why it is very relevant for companies in the UAE to have a key man cover.
Mr. Mathew, you told about the relevance of key man covers for people or the business owners who live in UAE.
Yes.
Is it safe to say that it is also equally pertinent to other business owners spread across other Middle East countries and rest of the world as well?
Absolutely. It just has to get extended to any of these countries because key man insurances ensures continuity of the organization. And that's the whole objective of a key man cover. Immaterial of it being in the UAE or anywhere in the GCC, be it India or anywhere else in the world. It's ensuring that there's liquidity for the company and to ensure continuity of the company. That is what's the whole objective of a key man cover. So it's not restricted. It's not restricted to borders. Very relevant for the UAE and the NRI market purely because most of them aren't aware of this reality, that things can change completely and turn around if they're not around there to manage their companies. And liquidity is not available for the company.
Yeah, in UAE, particular issue is that of the Sharia law or in the Middle East countries. But for rest of the world, the continuity of the firm itself is a question. See, the continuity and the liquidity is ensured when the key man is properly covered, and in the unfortunate event of that person not existing in this world, ample amount of liquidity is made available to the firm. So the existence of the firm will not be questioned or it will not be called for. So the smooth running of the institution can be ensured. That point is very well taken, Mr. Mathew.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what's very relevant.
Right. Now let's get into more specifics of the key man insurance. Conceptually, I understood this part, but when we try to implement it, there can be more aspects to it. See, a business could be a sole owner. A business owner could be a partnership firm, an organization by itself. Now, how does the key man insurance work with the different roles of key man in an organization?
Let me start with sole owner, because I would say there are over 650 SMEs in the UAE. And I would say at least, out of the 650,000, maybe 60, 70% of them aren't aware of key man covers. Now, for a sole owner, what's very important is he is the basis for the company surviving. If he's not around, I'm sure his family, be it his wife or his kids, wouldn't be able to take over the company. So it's vital for the sole owner to make sure that he has liquidity available for the company survival and amounts available to make sure that there is continuity for the company and some part of it for the family to be able to manage be it in terms of getting another person to manage it or to sell out. That's in terms of a sole owner. In terms of a partnership, it's vital purely because each partner wants to protect his share in the company. And that's where a key man cover will make sure that in the event one of the partners were to pass away, that there's a lump sum available to pay out the share of the deceased partner, and the surviving partner is able to take over the company. So that's in terms of a partnership. The third aspect of it is for a bank facility. When there's a facility offered by the bank, the key man cover is mandatory, which gets then assigned to the bank that in the event that this person is no more, that there's a lump sum available for the bank to take care of the liability, and the rest of it is pumped back into the company coffers. I hope I'm able to clarify the three important aspects of key man covers over here.
Right. I understood the part what you told about the sole proprietors and the partnerships and the angle of borrowings from the bank and how it will help to mitigate that particular risk.
Yes.
But tell me one thing, how key man insurance helps when you cover a key person or an employee of an organization? How does that will be helpful?
Oh, yes. Okay. That's also vital. You're looking at, first and foremost, liquidity available for the company to take care of salaries. If it's a reasonably larger organization, 30, 40 employees, then all these salaries need to be paid. More than anything else, as I said, banks and liabilities, stock which is in trade, which is in the go down, which is on its way. All of this can be protected with ensuring that there is liquidity available. Fourth, more than anything else, as soon as the key person is no more, a lot of these debts need to be settled. And this is where liquidity is available. And so each of these are where a key man insurance takes care of all these important aspects for the, as I always have repeated, continuity of the business.
Mr. Mathew, now you told the various aspects of the key man insurance. Is key man insurance is one single type of insurance, or there are different types of key man insurance? Can you throw a little bit more light on that?
Sure. There are different kinds of key man covers. It depends on the individual requirement and the company's requirement. We can refer to it as a key man cover with a specified term, invariably till the individual is ready for retirement. So which means you say, I want to make sure that I get covered till age 60 when I'm actually going to be managing this company. Option number one. Option number two, some of my clients would say, is that why would I actually have a loss for the company when there's outgoings for payments for my key man covers? So I can do something where money is growing for me, and at the same time, I'm protecting myself and the risk for the company. So that's when what we refer to as a whole of life key man cover can be done. And at the time of retirement, he always has an option to, actually encash the policy and go ahead and assign it to the company. So this is the two ways where you can actually protect yourself in terms of key man covers.
Mr. Mathew, I understood all these aspects. So if you have to finally summarize in one or two sentences, can you please briefly tell how does it finally benefit the company when the key man insurance is a cost to the company?
Exactly. The cost to the company is actually minuscule compared to what we're going to be actually protecting. The actual turnover of the company. It protects profitability. It protects possible losses because the key man is not there. It makes sure that in the event that the key man is not there, the banks have enough to pay out loans. It can be also more than anything else to make sure that the continuity of the company is there purely because there's liquidity available to manage a new person who can take over, get trained, and move on. And this transition is only possible if there's liquidity for the company.
Mr. Mathew, thank you for that awesome piece of information and the knowledge that you have shared about key man insurance, why it's absolutely essential for a business to have a key man insurance in place so that the continuity of the business is never at risk. One last question that comes to my mind is,
Sure.
You are there in UAE, you are licensed to operate from UAE for this key man insurance. But there are a lot of business who are spread in KSA, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, all these places. And if these business owners want a key man insurance, is there a facility which is available in UAE? They can come to UAE and buy this key man insurance. Can you put some light on that?
Sure. See, there are two options over here. As long as the individual comes to the UAE and is ready to write business here, we are able to cover him for most parts of the GCC. And we have different providers who are ready to do that. And it should not be a problem at all for us to be able to conclude this cover for them.
So, Mr. Mathew, thank you very much for your time. You are kind enough to come to the studios and give this piece of information. It helped the business community of NRIs who are in the business, why it makes sense for them to buy a key man insurance. It's the most essential part of the business. Thank you very much for your time. Look forward to having one more interaction on one another subject very, very soon.
Thank you, Doctor. That was an incredible experience for me as well. And I hope I was able to actually clarify all the questions for your listeners and viewers. And I'm hoping to be on many more such occasions with you. Thank you so much.
Dear viewers, hope the episode that I have done today on the key man insurance helped you to understand what is a key man insurance, who should buy it, why it is essential, how it protects a business. Then please like this video. If you are a person who is watching this channel for the first time, or if you are yet to subscribe for the channel, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. And before I conclude, all that I would like to say is, if you are looking out to buy a key man insurance to protect your business interests, you can make best use of our services as well. You can send a WhatsApp message on the number that is shown here on the screen, and either Mr. Mathew or myself or the appropriate person who is in charge of this will get in touch with you and help you design a proper key man insurance, which will be very beneficial for you. Thank you very much for watching this episode on NRI Money Clinic. I shall be back with you with yet another very useful topic in yet another video very, very soon.
Press the bell icon for more details and subscribe our channel.